really, really affect a team in different ways. Mike Zimmer was able to corral this team, get them together, take one step at a time. And even after the Carolina win, the big Carolina win, going into Bank of America Stadium and really taking it to the Panthers in that second half. I believe they reeled off 26 straight points to win that game 26-10. But Mike Zimmer, after the game, made the statement of, this is just another win for us. This doesn't give us the division title. Doesn't put us in the playoffs. One step at a time. See, that's the mark of a very, very good coach. Good football coach. Well, one thing Mike Zimmer has done is he's brought an attitude, a business-like approach to this Minnesota Viking organization. I know Cincinnati Bengal fans were really sad to get rid of him and still be stuck with Marvin Lewis, but that's a whole other story. But one thing Zimmer was able to do, and this is why you see a different Sam Bradford. When Sam Bradford was in Philadelphia, and really when he was in St. Louis, for all intents and purposes, he did not have the outside receivers he does now. I mean, Stephon Diggs is emerging to a number one guy. Matter of fact, he's got identical stats to OBJ right now, which is, if you don't know those initials, that's Odell Beckham Jr. They've got really identical stats, and I would say Diggs has got better because he's got a touchdown, where Odell Beckham is still yet to find the end zone. But that's something Bradford has now. He's got two outside receivers. They're still waiting on Laquan Treadwell, the rookie out of Ole Miss, who, at this point, from what I'm gathering, just isn't getting it. Nowhere near where he needs to be. Nowhere near. So they've got a good setup there. Kyle Rudolph has emerged, and now Bradford's got a tight end to go. He's got down the middle. He can throw deep. And look for him to go to his man, Diggs, early and often and get into that New York secondary. Landon Collins for New York, the free safety, is going to have to have a big game tonight. Because if they get caught out of position, look out. Minnesota could put up some big numbers tonight. And this is a Minnesota team that struggles on offense, but I think tonight they're going to do well. I think the Giants have some issues rushing the passer. There's no question. If you look at their statistics, they don't have a lot of sacks. They really don't get pressure. And that's something that Bradford, if you don't get pressure on him, he can pick you apart like a Thanksgiving turkey. And that could very well be the situation here tonight. Now, Bradford is like Eli Manning. When you get pressure on him, he's prone to throwing interceptions. So in this game, when I break it down, it looks like the game will be won, in my opinion, tonight on the defensive line. Minnesota's defensive line is lethal. Really lethal. They get after you. They pressure you. They get on you. And then they'll bring some blitzes. Mike Zimmer is a master at disguising these blitzes. And he's going to do this all night. That's one thing that you'll really be able to see tonight. Is Zimmer's ability to disguise his blitzes. Now, one thing Minnesota's defense is going to have to do, and I think they're going to do tonight, is put their offense in good positions. Put their offense in position to make this a game. Now, if you look on the weaknesses for Minnesota, without question, there's a one glaring weakness, and in my opinion, it's the only weakness on this team right now, as they are 3-0. Jared McKinnon and Matt Asiata. They've got to go to a dual running back system because of the injury to Adrian Peterson. That has been a weak point. Minnesota right now is only averaging 51 rush yards a game. That's my stat of the night. It's rough. 51 yards a game. Their offensive line has struggled, even with the addition of Alex Boone at left tackle, Andre Smith at right tackle. They went out and got them for purposes of running between the tackles. They needed some strong bookend defensive or offensive tackles, and they haven't got that play yet. And that's why the running game has struggled. Now, if you take a look at the Giants' defense, they're only allowing 77 yards on the ground. If you look at both of these defenses, they're very, very similar. The only, when you look at it, the only difference I see that's a major advantage for Minnesota is it's the fact that they allow 7 less points. So you're looking at Minnesota's only allowing 13 points a game. That right there is that's tough. They only allowed Green Bay 14 points in their first home game. That was on a Sunday night. And one thing the Giants have not been able to do this year, if you've watched any of their games, they have struggled at times to put points on the board really against. They did put up 27 on Washington last week, but, I mean, against Dallas and New Orleans, they were only able to muster, 36 points. And New Orleans' defense, as it pains me to say, that defense is just, it's, what's the best way to describe it? I guess it's like what I call a video game defense. You can pretty much do what you want with it. And they only put up 16 points. They did throw for 350 yards against the Saints. But again, they struggled in the red zone. So, for the Giants, they're going to have to capitalize in the red zone. In their defense, they are averaging 47% third down conversions, which is going to be huge. Their defenses, in respect, the Giants are allowing 43% third down conversions, and the Vikings at 46%. So, as you can see, this is more than likely going to be a very defensive game. As you look, Vegas is expecting the total to be, it's been fluctuating between 42 and 43 all day long. The line's going from 4 to 4.5. You may get it at 5 closer to game time. Typically, Monday Night Football, the public goes with the home team. Now, from a point spread perspective, following the trend so far early on in the season is the dogs have been barking loudly. Other than the first Monday night game where the Steelers came in as a 3-point favorite and blew out the Redskins. Other than that, dogs have they've been covering this Monday Night Football. Now tonight, if you ask me, when you sit here and you analyze this game, the fact that the Giants aren't able to put up points in the red zone and even getting all those yards, that's a tough one. Because this Minnesota defense, you don't get a lot of yards to begin with. So you got to take advantage of any points you can get. And if the Giants are unable to get in the end zone and only score 16 against the Saints, 20 against the Cowboys, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be tough. And I think you're going to score. I think you're going to have a low-scoring game tonight. I think you're going to have I'm going to go ahead and call this thing. I think you're going to have like a 21-10 Minnesota victory. 21-10, 24-10, something like that. I think they're going to be able to get downfield a few times on this Giants secondary. As far as running the football, if Minnesota can run the football, the Giants will be in serious trouble. Because they'll have to bring their safeties up. They'll have to leave one-on-one on the outside. And that's a very tall order for this Giants secondary. If the Giants are going to keep this thing close and possibly win the game, they're going to have to keep it close early. If they let Minnesota get out to a lead and get this crowd involved, you can hang it up. But the one thing to look for, look for Eli Manning. If he's able to get time, he's going to be able to complete a few passes. He'll be able to find some openings. But if he doesn't, you're going to see some interceptions. So I think that's the key. And watch for that early. See if Minnesota can get a pass rush on Eli Manning. So wrapping this up, again, my call is 24-10 Minnesota. Low-scoring game. I think this game is going to be one that's it's not going to be the most exciting game in the world to watch. If you're not a Minnesota or a Giants fan, unless you're just a big football fan like myself, you probably won't be tuning in. So that's your breakdown for this Minnesota Giants Monday Nighter in Week 4. And in honor of Monday Night Football, oh, that Monday night theme song. Oh, man, been watching that for years. Amazing how long Monday Night Football has been on the air. Really, really crazy. Now, the Sounds of Song tonight, guys. I want to talk about something that's not sports, but has been in the news all day today. The only reason you haven't heard about it is unless you're under a rock or you're not on Earth. Is Kim Kardashian and this situation that really awful situation for her. Is she was asleep in her bed when two men break into her house or her apartment, go upstairs, and she's laying in bed in her robe. They tie her up, tape her mouth shut, grab her feet. You know, she thought she was going to be raped. And it must be an awful experience for her.